Hello and good morning. Bump, bump. It's Transformational Tuesday, and I wore my cake shirt for you. You like it? I think it's funny. Anyway, yes, here we are. I'm happy to be here with you. Holy moly, I really just want to take a moment and acknowledge, before we dive into our Transformational Tuesday cards here, the Santa Rosa, Sonoma County, Napa fires. There has been some extraordinary damage in a very short amount of time. I mean, there are hundreds of homes, neighborhoods that have been completely demolished by these fires. I've never seen anything like it. Now, for those of you that don't know, I lived in Santa Rosa. I lived in Sonoma County for almost 10 years before moving to Reno. And it's been really challenging to see just the devastation and feeling helpless and feeling the connections of what it is that's going on with my friends, seeing what it is that's going on with people who I've considered my family for many years, and seeing their complete and total loss of homes, literally homes completely done into ashes. And so one of the things that I've been looking at here is how do we keep putting one foot in front of the other so that we can best support people through this kind of chaos, through this kind of devastation, because it is happening all over the planet right now. And yes, there are some people who are still having good days and still having great days. And so even with that, how is it that we can continue moving forward? How is it that we can continue to support our friends, our family, our loved ones when they are going through this time of devastation? And so I just wanted to focus on that, like how can we bring our strength to the table? So with that being the theme, I'm going to go ahead and draw 3 cards here for us. There we go. Whoop, boop, ba-doop. All right. So I brought my angel answer cards here. They are going to be the ones giving us insight. Now, what I love about these cards is that they're very short and sweet. They have very clear answers. They have very clear guidelines. And so as you heard me kind of going over the theme, we're going to look and see how does that apply to us? How does that apply to us in a way that we can bring strength, and what is it that's holding us back from being able to do so? So I'm going to start with the last card I pulled first here. All right, so we have meditation. Meditation brings answers. So this has also been a theme that's been coming up in my classes, and also I had 2 classes yesterday, one with our Earth Angels and then one with the Intuitive Connection Academy. So if you're in the Intuitive Connection Academy, please do go check it out. Or the theme this month is Manifest Presto. So how to manifest, what gets in your way, and what could potentially be a block. How is it that we allow ourselves to be able to manifest? So with that, meditation brings answers. That's your guide here. You are your own guide. You are the guru of your own life. This is making time for yourself to meditate is going to be what helps set you free, and is going to also be what gives you the answers or the guidelines of how can you show up stronger for your community. How can you show up with more awareness? How can you show up with more ambition? How can you show up with more drive to help those around you? Because we're getting into a time and an era where people are needing help. People are looking for answers. People are looking for support from other people. And so how is it that you can best be that person? All right. And we also have big, happy changes. As we know, devastation, destruction, it's all part of creation. It's all part of creation. We have to destroy in order to recreate. So the silver lining in this particular instance, and we can even go back even a week ago and look at what was going on in Las Vegas, which are horrible, horrible tragedies. People are losing their lives. So how can we find and how can we stay in the silver lining with this? Allowing yourself to focus on what is changing. What is changing in a positive way, and how is that going to help those people around you? Let's see if we can actually get the image in here. There's kind of a glare. But how is it that we can actually support, and how is it that we can actually love those people that are around us as they're going through their devastation, but by being able to bring the light. So in our Earth Angels class last night, I want to share this because I think it's really important. I asked them the question, have you ever in your life been at that point where you have been so emotionally distressed, so completely emotionally distressed, that you have no guard? You have no guards, that you just completely let the emotion come out. You have to. It's like you have no other choice but to let yourself cry, let yourself sob. And in that moment, have you ever been held? Have you ever been held by somebody else as you have sobbed, as you have let your guards down, as you have been completely vulnerable? Have you ever allowed yourself to be in that position? And if you have, my example with that is that if you have, it changes you. There's a part of you that changes. There's a part of you that never goes back to the way that you were before that moment. Because you know what it's like to be supported. You know what it's like to be loved through vulnerability. You know what it's like to be held by somebody else's strength when you have had none. So how, and what a blessing is it that that person that had the opportunity to hold you is able to be there and support for you? How is it that we can be that person for other people? How is it that we can be there to support? And maybe it doesn't necessarily mean exactly that we are going to go be there and hold them when they cry. But how is it that we can be there for people who are going through these kinds of turmoil and strife and devastation in their life? How is it that we can, even online, through an online community, be able to be there and to support? And so these cards here, the meditation brings answers, and then big happy changes. Big happy changes, what an incredibly beautiful card to be pulling during this reading. Because those big happy changes just signify it's that staying in the silver lining. Staying in the silver lining, bringing positivity to the circumstance is really what is going to help. It's really what helps us get through anything, really. It's how can we focus on that silver lining. So the big happy changes through devastation might not feel like it now, but we can at least be there to support those people who are going through it. All right, and then we have a time card here. A year from now. Let me see what this is about. All right, so this is interesting. This specifically has to do with how are you showing up now? What is it that you're doing to show up now? And knowing that as you give and as you offer what it is that you have to other people, what it is that you can give to other people, it's that a year from now, you're really going to be able to see that. You're really going to be able to look back. So same as like if you don't act, if you don't do anything, if you're not there to support and you just simply watch and think, oh, well, that's really far away from me, it doesn't affect me. It does affect you. If you're watching this right now, what happened in Las Vegas last week, what happened in Florida a few weeks ago, what's going on in Puerto Rico, what's happening in Santa Rosa, and any other places where there's this complete devastation. I know Anaheim down in LA went up in flames yesterday too. If you are watching this, then you are being affected by it. And if you're being affected by it and you're choosing to do nothing, you're choosing to sit back. And I'm not saying, drop what you have going on and go and volunteer your time, but what is it that you can do? How is it that you can support? How is it that you can show up for somebody else? And how is it that you can offer even food, shelter, water? At this point, basic necessities are being destroyed. So how is it that you can support? So, Eve, if you're feeling drained from supporting people, then what I will tell you right here is go back into meditation. I love that you brought that up. I absolutely love that you brought that up because it's really, 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 really important also that if we are at a point where we have nothing left to give, then it's almost like you then become one that needs to be supported. So the best thing that we can do, honestly, it sounds kind of funny, but the best thing that we can do first is to show up for somebody else, or not is to show up for somebody else, is to show up for ourselves first before we can show up for somebody else. So it's making sure that your cup is full. It's making sure that you have gotten enough sleep, or it's making sure that you have food for yourself. It's making sure that you have the opportunities to take care of yourself so that you can be strong, so that you can show up for somebody else. Because if you're at the point where you have nothing left to give, or you haven't slept for 2 days because you're supporting and you're running around and you're driving people and you're saving people from their houses, which literally has been what has been going on in Santa Rosa. So if you're at that place where you have been doing so much for other people that then you need support, it's really, really important for you to be able to take care of yourself. Really important for you to be able to take care of yourself, because then you become a pillar. You become the strength that wasn't there before. You become somebody that can be there to lean on. And when you allow yourself to get so far away from taking care of yourself, you then become one that somebody else has to take care of. So being able to know when your limits are, and also being able to know, like, if you're doing a great job of taking care of yourself, which is why I hold these Transformational Tuesday videos, to encourage and support you in being able to take care of yourself and being able to transform and being able to hold your responsibility in our community, in our global community, of being able to love yourself first so that you can show up. I know that I can be there for my friends and family right now in the way that I know how to best, because I've been taking care of myself, because I've been doing a good job of taking care of myself. And so that is what allows us to be able to show up for other people. So going back through these cards here, we have meditation brings answers. Love this card. Meditation brings answers. If you're stuck in confusion, because by the way, what I will also say is that since the eclipse and the full moon on Friday, I don't know if you guys have been feeling like you've been in a washing machine, a little bit upside down, a lot of confusion, not really knowing what's going on. I always know that I'm in a major growth period when I can't figure out what to wear. It's just kind of one of those funny things, funny indicators. I'll try on like 5 different outfits before I can even leave my house. That's when I know that I'm just like, I can't even decide how I want to show up. That is the kind of energy that I feel has been really, really potent in the last week. And so on top of that, going through this devastation, giving yourself the time to meditate, giving yourself extra time to be in silence, and giving yourself extra time to step into what you are capable of doing is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So then we have the big, big happy changes. And I love that this card is coupled up with a year from now. We have a time card here with big happy changes. Still trying to figure this out, you guys. So a year from now and big happy changes. How beautiful is that? But showing up right now, showing up in how you can in your essence, showing up. This isn't about waiting. This isn't about waiting. This isn't about going, oh, a year from now my dreams will come true. This is about taking action now. It's about planting seeds now. It's about showing up now and seeing how different your life is a year from now. Because a year from now, for you to show up, for you to find a different way of being, for you to be there as a support for your community, you're going to find that there is reward for that. Knowing that it comes from a place of service, knowing that it comes from a place of wanting to give, all of that, this is for you. This is for you. There is reward with showing up. There is reward for taking care of yourself. So all of the above, take care of yourself, fill your cup, and see what it is that you can do for other people. Even if people, I had a friend that was in court the other day. I can send her love, I can send her energy, I can even send her a nice note on Facebook so that she knows that I'm there to support her. These are very, very, very simple things, but they mean a lot. It's the little things that add up. So when you can do things that are very small, even taking the first step of supporting somebody else or loving somebody else, let yourself be there for them. Let yourself feel what it's like to support somebody else so that you can really and truly receive support when you need it. When you are emotionally distraught, when you have no more guard, when you are so vulnerable that you can't help but sob, you can't help but cry, and you're there with other people. The only way that you know the benefit of that is to be able to be there for somebody else as well, and vice versa. We are going through some really challenging times right now. Really challenging times. If you are a light worker, if you are a healer, if you know that you are light being here to help and support other people, please, please, please show up, because now is the time. Now is the time that we were called. Now is the time that we volunteered to come to this planet. Now is the time that we are here to show up, to bring the vibration of love, to bring the vibration of light. Do not get stuck in chaos energy. Do not see somebody with a devastated house and as an empath bring yourself down to that place of devastation, of empathy, of, oh my goodness, I can believe it, I'm going to cry with you. Be the pillar to hold space for them to go through what it is that they can go through. Giving yourself that opportunity to be able to seek support also if you need it. Know that it's okay to ask for help, but we as light workers, we as empaths, we as intuitives, psychics, healers, whatever label you claim to be, or maybe you don't even claim a label, you just know that you're here to help people. Now is your time to show up. Now is your time in the world that it is time to show up. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's join together. That's what this group, the Daily Sunshine, is all about. So dive in, support each other, share. I've mentioned this many times before, that if you need love, if you need light, bring that into your life. Bring that into even the Daily Sunshine. Ask for love, ask for support, ask for, some happy, healthy prayers. If you're going through something tough, we've got you. We're here to support you. We're here to love you. We're here to, and sometimes really, I know it sounds so silly, but sometimes even just a couple of heart emojis, letting somebody know that you're there, letting somebody know that you're showing up is a really, 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 really beautiful thing. So show up in that space. So with that, I put the cards back in here. Okay, we have meditation brings answers. Big happy changes in a year from now. You're going to see a result. So with that, I love you. I love you. I love you. Doors are officially closed for the course in Intuitive Alchemy. That has already happened. It is a 4-month course of psychic development training. The next opportunity that we have to work together, other than, of course, the ongoing Intuitive Connection Academy, which is a monthly membership opportunity. Let me know if you're interested. I can get you the link. It's $37 a month. Easy peasy. We've got classes, guided meditations, and live Q&A. So that's what goes on in the Intuitive Connection Academy. Our theme this month is Manifest Presto. It's not enough to just sit there and say, I want something, and have it come to you. So we dove it yesterday. I taught the class. Dove into the energetic mechanics of how manifestation works and how you could block yourself. So if you want in on that, if you want access to the class, if you're not already in the Intuitive Connection Academy, let me know. I'll add you to the group and you will have access to that class as of yesterday. A couple of other really exciting announcements. I'm going to post a save the date. I'm leading a retreat in Morocco at the end of April. And I'm also hosting a second live event. So that second live event is going to be in January. I believe it's January 12th, 13th, and 14th. We've already set the dates. We've already got the venue set. So it will be like Become, but a little bit different because it'll be something new. So with that, I want to say thank you oh so much for joining me. I do hope I get to meet you in person soon. And if you guys wouldn't mind, I would love to hear where you're from. So if you could in the comments really just type in where you're from, where are you at? I know that we have a global community and it's always so much fun when I ask that question because I get to see where people are coming from. And I absolutely love it. It makes me really excited. I'm just going to kind of throw this out there because now I'm just getting excited. But I've also been thinking of just kind of planting energetic seeds about where I could do an international tour. I know I've got a following in Ontario, so that's exciting. But Ontario, possibly London, Scotland. I do have a bunch of followers in Scotland too, which is so much fun. Suzanne, thank you so much for showing up. And then Australia. So if any of you have ideas, if any of you want to kind of bounce some ideas around, please just let me know because I'm open to new possibilities as I'm starting to plan our 2018 calendar year. It's almost right around the corner. But first we're going to celebrate Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. All right. Well, with that, I hope you guys all have the best day ever. happy Tuesday. Thank you once again for joining me. And if you're watching this on a non-Tuesday, happy day to you. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. I will be seeing you oh so soon. All right. Ciao.